Birkenstocks and woolly socks, though. You got to have woolly socks.
It's a good song title, Birkenstocks and woolly socks.
Birkenstocks and woolly socks.
Well, let's start there. So I heard you went to the studio not too long ago. In January to record some new tunes, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, we're still in and out of the studio sort
Okay.
of when we ever get time. I was just doing that Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, right. So what are the themes of the new record? What are you writing about? How far along are you?
That's a good question.
Whole bunch of questions about the new
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know. It's got a good energy, though. It's really up, as the last one was maybe too introspective.
It was a little darker than the last one, yeah?
Yeah, this one is not that. And that's kind of what we do. We react against the last thing we did.
Well, the last one was put out, end of Bush regime, a lot of anti-war sentiments on it.
Yeah,
so
good
is this a new hopeful kind of thing?
I don't know that it's hopeful. It's just more fun, you know.
More fun as a band together, or more fun sounding for a listener?
More fun sounding, more energy, more just, living instead of analyzing.
Mm-hmm. So what are you writing about?
Love, the usual stuff.
Yeah.
Love in many colors, just like a rainbow.
Just like a rainbow. All right. What about production work? Who's producing it for you?
Well, what Dave and I are doing it with Dave Ogilvie, who did our very first record.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's a lot of fun, sort of going back to the old memories, you know.
Well, going back, you've been doing the Green album on tour. Is that still going on?
And he did the Green record with us, right?
Cool.
So we're sort of back to where we started. It's kind of fun.
How come that seems to be the new concert thing of playing your records in entire? That seems to be the new trend kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know how come. I mean, in our case, you know, we were just talking about that it was 30 years since we started as a band.
Does it feel like 30?
Not really, no. And 25 years since we recorded this record. The first record, the Green record.
Right.
Yeah, 25-year anniversary of that. And then, I mean, it's been done. A lot of people have been doing this kind of stuff, you know, redoing their albums or whatever. It's okay. I enjoy it from my perspective. I haven't seen one of those acts, but from playing it, it's just fun. It's fun to sort of reinterpret, step in those old shoes, right? Get out the old cape and mask, and, be a superhero from when I was 20-something, right? So.
Is that still going to be going on throughout the summer, or was that just a spring thing?
That's just the shows. It'll be going on for the rest of the year. It'll be just shows that seem to be suited to that environment. So theater or someplace that we can, we do a lot of summer festivals, so it's not really like we're playing the Cloverdale Rodeo and it'll just be hoo-ha. Let's hear some radio
play the hits
songs.
And all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
On that topic, though, set list for a show. I mean, 14 records. That sound right? I think at this point.
It's 12 original albums.
And then a couple other compilations, I guess, over the years. Whatever it is, it's a lot of tunes to skim through for a set.
Yeah. Well, we play that whole first record, which is only 9 songs, and then we try to touch on at least, almost one song of every record. Sometimes we don't even get to do that.
Are there songs that'll always, no matter what, day in, day out, you got to throw in the set?
Kinda. Yeah. We don't have a problem with that. We got to play Ocean Pearl. I Go Blind, but that is also part of the Green record.
Right.
I remember when we first released that record, a few months in, and we had a fairly big following, and we played the Commodore, and we didn't play I Go Blind because we just didn't feel like it.
Right.
A lot of fans got upset. And ever since then, we've always played it.
you got to appease him.
Yeah.
I guess Dylan's the only one who just doesn't care and just plays whatever the hell he wants.
I guess so. Well, even if he plays the hits, you don't recognize him these days.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
That's,
But Neil Young, I saw him last year, and he played all his hits, which was great. He's both, right? He'll go off and do weird stuff for a tour, and then he'll play everything you want to hear. So you just got to try and catch that one.
Is that what you grew up on, Neil Young, that kind of stuff?
That's one of the things, yeah.
What did you grow up on? What were some of the records that made you decide this is what I want to do with my life?
Oh, well, that would have the decision.
Oh yeah.
That would have been the punk new wave thing that happened in the late '70s, early '80s.
Right.
Bands like the Clash were a big influence on me, and then stuff that sort of came after that, like the Cure and the Bunnymen and that kind of thing.
That makes more sense for the older records. You seem to have branched out a lot from that in recent years.
But I had older brothers and sisters. I remember when my brother brought home the first 2 Led Zeppelin records, the first Doors record, Beatles, Let It Be, all these records. I remember when they announced the Beatles broke up, on the radio. I'm dating myself, but
that's all right.
And me and my friend were going, wow, this is like one of the saddest days. And, you know, and looking back, it really was. Other than when John Lennon got shot. Sadder, but, you know.
On the topic of those bands, Mick Jagger, I was reading an interview with him, who said, it's funny because bands don't really make money anymore off record sales. It's changed severely, but he said 70 to 97, that's when bands made money.
On record sales.
Yeah. Well, in general, that's when bands.
Yeah.
That's when you could make money off music.
Yes. Well, they still do. I'm sure they do.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they're doing fine. But for most bands, especially Canadian acts,
yeah,
it's a little different.
I was reading about them and because they're reissuing Exile on Main Street, and yeah, in those days they made money from records.
What's your take on the industry now, and for younger bands coming up? Because I know you're working with Jets Over
and
a bunch of other bands too.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna be way ahead of the game.
Oh, are you? Okay.
We're gonna release a CD before they stop releasing CDs.
There you go.
We'll be vintage. We'll be boutique before they eliminate them. It's just funny because, you know, back in the day when we signed with Warner Brothers, you know, our second album we did with them, which was called Show Me, they said, we're going to do a limited run of CDs, right? And then years later with Sony, it's like, we might do a limited run of vinyl, you know?
Really going back.
Yeah, so.
Oh, vinyl sounds better. It's warmer.
I love vinyl, but.
Are you a big record collector?
I have 2 record players, and I have, well, I'm down to, you know, maybe 100 albums.
100 albums? I heard you want to do 100 songs. Is
Yeah.
that still a goal, to put a 100-song record out?
Yeah, well, we got 10 more in the works, and there's still another
quite a ways
30
from 100.
something in a can, in the can, and then we did 12. So, you know, we're about halfway there.
Is that the next record? It's going to be this 100-song record that I keep hearing about?
This is all the one. It's the 100-song project. It's not.
Oh, so it's over time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to be close to 100 now over the course of the career.
No, not since the last record was the start of the 100.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're about halfway there. You know, we'll probably do one more album, and then I think like you say, what's the business? I think technology is going to make it so the albums don't make sense. But artistically, it seems like artists still want to do albums, even though there's no real album. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can go on iTunes and buy a song or a group of songs. Maybe a little bit cheaper to get the whole collection of the new stuff. But it's sort of an old concept that doesn't make sense in a way, if that makes any sense.
No, it did. Well, it did for a long time, and now it seems to be going back to what the 50s were, right? Just a couple singles here and there, and maybe put out a compilation after a couple months.
Right. Well, I'm just trying to say that the medium doesn't justify an album. Right?
Do you want to make an album though? Is that something like when you're
that's
working on this new
still
record,
how we
right?
think, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, for us, you know, we still view ourselves as artists in the sense that what we create is an expression of our experience of the last couple records or years or whatever, right? Like I said earlier, that this is the antithesis of the last record, which was the antithesis of the one before. You know, it's always trying to, you know, when you swim in the water, you want to come out and dry off in the sun, and then you get hot and you go back in the water, you know. So this record will be in the sun. Last one was in the water.
Well, that's the dark light thing too.
There you go.
There you go. What about production? What are you working on with other bands?
Well, I'm doing the Blue Violets second record, which
Okay.
is my daughter's band, 2 daughters' band.
Right.
And Louise from Ex-Lilix. What am I doing? I'm looking at this guy named Mike Edel, I think his name.
Okay.
Might work with him. Been doing some writing. Wrote a song yesterday with Jesse Farrell, country song.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It's a good song. Yeah. You know, kicking around.
Trying different genres, trying different things.
I'm kind of open for business, but without really, you know, as long as I'm close to my cappuccino machine. You know?
That's all you need at the end of the day.
I don't really care.
Amazing. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I
you're welcome.
appreciate it.